are you still a co-host up there? Tina, is she a co-host?
There's a place where the wind don't blow and the sun don't glare in your eyes. High over the mountains, but it's not like home to me. Blowing through these battered walls, let your fingers soften my eyes as a breath of fall rides on your shoulders. Would you soothe these troubled times? Won't you soothe these troubled times? There's a place where the cross is king and the steeples fill the sky. No spirit left to wander free, and it's not like home to me. Blow wind through these battered walls, let your whispers open our hands as a breath of life rides on your timeless wings. Would you soothe this troubled land? Won't you soothe this troubled land? And there's a place every heart is free to seek truth as it can, built out of blood, sweat, and tears. It's the only home for me. Blowing through these battered walls, let your wonder carry our dreams as a breath of justice sweeps across the world. Would you soothe these troubled seas? Won't you soothe these troubled seas?
a look at the person next to you. Say God loves you and I love you too. Now feel the love in the sanctuary. Lift your voice and repeat after me. We come together, 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 we come together. In the name of love, we come together, 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 we come together. In the name of love. Now look at the person next to you. Say, I recognize the God in you. Feel the love in the sanctuary. Now lift your voice and repeat after me. Oh, we come together, 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 we come together. In the name of love, we come together, 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 we come together. In the name of love, from every walk of life, every walk of life, every creed and color, every creed and color, and can should we unite in honor of the God in each other. Take a look at the person next to you. Say, namaste, I bow to you. I feel the love in the sanctuary. Feel the love in the sanctuary. Lift your voice and repeat after me. Oh, we come together, we come together, we come together, we come together, we come together. In the name of love, we come together, 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 we come together. In the name of love, we come together, 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 we come together. In the name of love, we come together, we come together, we come together, we come together, we come together.
We come together in the name of love. I love that song. Good morning and welcome to All Souls Unitarian Universalist Church. My name is Susan Caldwell. I'm the Director of Religious Education here. Our minister is the Reverend Barbara Jarrell. She has been on her summer vacation/study leave, and we'll be back next week for our annual Artist Sunday service. I know, I think I heard a clap. I would clap too. We've missed her. Some of what she's been doing over the summer is she played at the Kerrville Folk Festival in June. She's been practicing her other career as a singer-songwriter, and the second song that you heard this morning was one of hers. So we're lucky to have her, and we look forward to having her back. Artist Sunday is a service where every element of the service is some kind of artistic performance, whether it's music or dance or poetry, prose. We've had a magician, we've had acrobats, we've had belly dancers. It's just a fun and joyful and very celebratory service. And so we invite you back next week and invite you to bring your friends. Today, we're very pleased and honored and delighted and all that good stuff to have Mr. Curtis Davis here as our guest speaker. And he's going to talk to you about his new organization, the Second Chance at Life Foundation, for people re-entering after incarceration. And he has brought us some literature that's going to be on the little black table as you exit the sanctuary, so I encourage you to pick that up, and plus he's going to tell you more about it when he speaks to us a little later. But we thank you so much for being here, Curtis. Let's see, our board person of the day is Susan Yellett, and I think she may be, there she is. I appreciate it. Yes, for sale and
in addition to the art presentation, there'll also be art for sale and display. So a lot of really talented folks here, real pretty artwork. Our giveaway, the plate this month is the North Louisiana Interfaith. It's a group of churches that have come together to harness the power of being organized to create change in our community. So one of the things that they've done is the power grid stuff that they're trying to do, community lighthouse projects at several churches where if internet and electricity go down, people can go there and get their energy, get solar power, get some water, keep cool or warm. And they also work on the pledge to vote, big important thing. We have a lot of elections coming up that we need to be aware of. And then our volunteer of the month is our board treasurer, Rebecca Tuggle. She's a welcoming face here every week. Here she is. She's a very dynamic speaker, and she also helps us with all the projects at the church, keeps us on track with how much money we have or don't have. And she also helps whenever we have any social events, like when we had the children's choir here, she really helped out with that. And when we had our Immigrants Day for like a week, she helped with food and checking on them and all that. So she's a great lady. And we already talked about the Artist Sunday, so I think that's it. Thank you.
I did want to mention one thing. Our friends at Agudath Achim, the conservative Jewish synagogue, will be installing their new rabbi, Rabbi David Lohr, this afternoon at 3 p.m. We are invited. The community is invited to join them in this celebration. Agudath Achim is located at 9401 Village Green Drive, which is down in that neighborhood, kind of south of. It's right around Johnny's Pizza on Uri, south of LSUS. So, set your GPS. Don't count on me for directions. And I believe that is all. I wanted to give you a heads up that August 18th will be our water communion service, and that is where people bring water either from their travels or it could be from your kitchen sink. And we always have some symbolic water here if you forget, but what we do is we combine all of the water, whether it's from the Mediterranean Sea or a puddle in your backyard or whatever, we combine it all. Nobody ever drinks it, but we boil it and filter it and we save it in the freezer and we use it for rituals, like if there's a baby dedication or rituals of that nature, then that's our sacramental water, basically. So. And we have a time where we can kind of tell the stories briefly, but tell the story of where the water came from. It's always a really moving service. So again, that's August 18th at the regular 11 o'clock service. So think about it now, especially if you're traveling between now and then, or if you've already traveled and you want to bring symbolic water and talk about it. That would be wonderful. And now, if you'll join me in the spirit of worship. After the chime finishes ringing, we will sing together, Gathered Here, and the words will be on the screen. Gathered here in the mystery of the hour, gathered here in one strong body, gathered here in the struggle and the power. Spirit, draw near. One more time. Gathered here in the mystery Spirit of life, ever adapting and renewing, we come together this morning with yearnings that do not match. We yearn for stability, for even one moment of feeling like we know what is going on, for the ability to predict and prepare for what is coming next. And yet we also yearn for change. We ache for a world that turns aside from racism, from violence, from dehumanization, and from disregard for suffering. We pray for a change in the illness, grief, isolation, incarceration, and vulnerability of our loved ones. We reach for connections that will remind us that we are worthy as we are, and we reach for connections that will help us to become our best selves. Hold us in the heart of both and cradle us in the mystery. Can I get some help with our children's chalice lighting this morning? Phoebe and Elizabeth, thank you. Oh, okay. Thank you, Susan. There are 3 greeting cards in the foyer. One of them is for Nida Abubakar, who was our speaker a couple of weeks back. Her father is one of the Holy Land Foundation 5, and we are just thanking her. So if whether you were here or not, we encourage you to sign as one of the community, as one of the congregation. And the other 2 are for congregants with some medical issues going on. All right, all ready? We light this chalice to celebrate Unitarian Universalism. This is the church of the open mind. This is the church of the helping hands. This is the church of the loving heart. Together, with mind, hands, and heart, we care for the earth and for each other. I'm not sure. Yeah, try it. Uh-oh. It's all right, we got this. Always have a backup plan. Well, the candle just is being stubborn today. There we go. There we go. Thank you so much, Elizabeth. We light this chalice as a symbol of the light within us and the life that flows through the world around us. It is our beacon as we search for truth. It is the warmth in our hearts for love. It is the energy that propels us to action. May we be kindled by our time together. If you'll join me in the unison affirmation, it's printed in the order of service and will also be on the screen. Rise in body or spirit. And say it with us as you are comfortable. Love is the doctrine of this church. The quest for truth is its sacrament, and service is its prayer. To dwell together in peace, to seek knowledge in freedom, to serve human need, to the end that all souls shall grow into harmony with the sacred. Thus do we covenant with each other. The song I'd like to sing, some of you may have sung a version of it in other churches when you were growing up. This is the Unitarian Universalist adaptation, which is very much like the original. It's a short song, so we'll do it maybe a couple or 3 times. But it goes like this. Love, prepare me to be a sanctuary, strong and holy, tried and true. may be seated. So this morning, almost said Reverend Davis. Curtis Davis will be talking to the grown-ups about the story of Joseph and how that relates to people who have been incarcerated or put in prison in our society. So I want to tell you this story. Some of you have heard it in religious education, but it may have been a while. Joseph was the son of a man named Jacob, and he had 10 older brothers and 1 younger brother. And parents try really hard not to have favorites, right? But Jacob didn't try all that hard, and Joseph was very definitely the favorite. It was even more obvious that Joseph was the favorite when his father gave him the gift of a beautiful coat of many colors. It didn't help matters much that Joseph often reported to their father when his brothers behaved badly and was always dreaming dreams and talking about them. A lot of the dreams seemed to be symbols involving Joseph's brothers bowing down to him. In one dream, they were gathering sheaves of wheat, and all the brothers' sheaves bowed down to the sheaf that Joseph had gathered. And in another, the sun, the moon, and 11 stars were all bowing down to Joseph. Now, it's never okay to kill your sibling, no matter how annoyed you are. But the brothers at first decided to do just that. They thought, we'll kill him, we'll throw him in a pit to be eaten by wild animals, and we'll take his bloody coat back to Dad to show him that Joseph is dead. But then one of the brothers, Reuben, said, killing him is a little much. How about instead of killing him, we just throw him in a pit, and then we can put some goat's blood on the coat and take that back to Dad and tell him that Joseph is dead. So they took Joseph's coat off and they threw him in the pit. And then they're sitting around eating lunch while all this has gone on. And all of a sudden, a caravan comes by on their way to Egypt. And then another brother, Judah, says, hey, why should we throw him in the pit when we could sell him into slavery to these people and make a little money off the deal? And so, like killing your sibling or throwing him in a pit, selling your brother into slavery is also not okay. But they did. They sold Joseph into slavery. And he was put to work in the house of Potiphar, who was the chief overseer for the Pharaoh, the king of Egypt. He was very successful, and he was ultimately put in charge of the whole house. But Potiphar's wife accused him of something he didn't do, and he was thrown into prison. But then he worked hard in prison, and ultimately he was put in charge of all the other prisoners. So Joseph was one of these people that whatever hardships came upon him, his faith in God remained strong. His faith in his ability to do what needed to be done remained strong. So he ends up in charge of all the prisoners. Pharaoh's cupbearer or butler had also been thrown into prison, and the baker had also been thrown into prison with Joseph. Both of these men had dreams, but they didn't know what they meant. Well, Joseph was kind of an expert on dreams by this time, and so he interpreted them. The butler dreamed that he would grow grapes to make wine for the Pharaoh's cup. The baker dreamed that he would bake bread, but that birds would come and eat all the bread out of the baskets before he could get it to Pharaoh. Joseph said that the butler's dream meant that he would be released from prison and returned to serve Pharaoh, but that the baker's dream meant that he would be executed, he would be killed. Within days, both dreams for both men came true, sadly for the baker. So the butler was going to be released, and Joseph said, hey, remember me to the Pharaoh. I would really like to get out of here if that's at all possible. And the butler said, oh, absolutely, I will do that. Well, it took him 2 years to do that, but 2 years later, when Pharaoh had a dream he didn't understand, the butler just mentioned, oh yeah, I met this guy in prison named Joseph, and he knows how to interpret dreams. In the dream, the Pharaoh saw 7 healthy cows grazing in a field, and then healthy fat cows, but then 7 skinny cows behind them that came and ate them. So that was kind of horrifying. And he had another dream where he saw 7 healthy, growing ears of corn, but then behind them, 7 really skinny, dried up, kind of dead ears of corn that ate the healthy corn. And so Joseph said that this dream meant that Egypt would see 7 years of plenty, 7 years where food and everything would be plentiful, but then 7 years of famine and starvation. And what he recommended was to store up for that, to be ready for that time, to store up all the grain and all the food that they would need to get through those famine years. And Pharaoh thought this was really smart, so he put Joseph in charge of all the grain, all the food. So Joseph had kept faith with God through all of his time in the pit and all of his time as a slave and all of his time in prison. And I almost left out the best part of this, or one of the best parts of the story. So he's in charge of all the food and all the grain. His own brothers come back to him to get food because there's famine all throughout the land. And at first they don't recognize him and they don't believe who he is, but then, so he keeps his younger brother Simeon there with him and says, go back and get Dad and come, and then you'll believe me and he'll believe me. And so they come back, then they believe him and they end up living nearby, and again, Joseph has prospered through everything that he went through. And so there are people in prison today who, like Joseph, don't belong there, either because they've been wrongly accused, like Joseph, or because the sentence for the crime they committed is so ridiculously long. Sometimes they get help from others, the way Joseph got a little help from Potiphar, but sometimes that help can amount to betrayal or waiting a little bit too long for that help. Often they'll work hard in prison and get help toward an early release, but again, that can be slow in coming if the powers that be are moving so slowly. So this morning, as I said, Mr. Davis will talk to the grown-ups about our own Joseph people in Louisiana and what is happening to help them when they get out, and also how we as a church can be part of that help. And so with that, we will sing the children and youth to their class. Go now in peace, go now in peace. May the spirit of love surround you everywhere, everywhere you may go. I invite you to join me in spirit of prayer. We'll have prayer and then silence, and then during the meditative music, you're invited to come forward and light a candle. It can be for a joy or a concern in your own life. It can be in memory of someone who has passed or in honor of someone dear to you. God of our hearts, Spirit of life, we humble ourselves before love. We take to our knees in protest of the violent acts against humanity, and we commit ourselves to the work of abundant love and healing. We face ourselves as individuals and as a people. We acknowledge our complicity in racism and xenophobia and the brokenness which allows those things to flourish in these lands. We see the harm we are inflicting on others and the new cycles of brokenness we cause. We commit ourselves to the work of abundant love and healing. We do not turn away from victims of mass incarceration, police brutality, depraved immigration policies, oppression of human rights, and freedom. We hold the entirety of the experience, their suffering, and our responsibility, and we commit ourselves to the work of abundant love and healing. We see each other's tears and know we play a part. We commit ourselves to the work of abundant love and healing. We humble ourselves to each other, knowing we cannot change the past, but we can build a different future. We commit ourselves to the work of abundant love and healing. God of our hearts, Spirit of life, we commit ourselves to the work of abundant love and healing. And we take this with us into the silence. As I said earlier, we're delighted to have Curtis Davis here, and I'm not going to talk long because I didn't print out your intro, but I do I do remember that he was imprisoned wrongly in Angola for 25 years, and during that time used his time in the law library studying, and eventually was able to secure a release from what would have been a life sentence. And since that time, he has spent his time working really hard for people who are incarcerated and who are released. And he has a new organization he's going to share with us, Second Chance at Life Foundation. I'm very delighted to introduce Mr. Curtis Davis.
Thank God for this opportunity. I'm always humbled when I come in front of you guys, especially when Susan blows my head up like that. I want to, first of all, thank God again for this opportunity. Like she said, I was serving a life sentence in Angola prison. I left in 1990, was falsely accused of second-degree murder, and ended up on an island called Angola. It's 18,000 acres big, right? And that's a little larger than the island of Manhattan. I wanted to come here today to really share a special story about what we're doing in reentry in Louisiana. And Susan stole my thunder by telling you guys the whole story. But it's great that you do know who Joseph was, because Joseph was that person, but he's also a group of people, a prototype of a people who go through long suffering. Because the biggest thing about Joseph's story was that he was faithful. He believed in his condition. God allowed his condition to happen, but he also, I believe, actively made it happen, because he was molding Joseph for a time that was gonna be needy of that type of man, right? Joseph actually spent 18 years in prison. He's seen a lot of people come and go, and he often asked, when you go home, please, do something for me. Don't forget about me, because I'm not the bad guy that you guys think I am, or whatever, or that I've been made out to be. People went home, forgot all about him. While he was in Potiphar's house, he showed that he was an upright man, because most men would have taken advantage of the opportunity to lay with Potiphar's wife, a beautiful woman. He said, no, I can't do that. Potiphar was good to him. Potiphar was a captain to one of the most powerful men on the face of the earth, but he let this man, although a slave, have charge of his home. He trusted this man in the house with his wife and his children. And his wife, hey, I'm not saying, she done what she done. She said what she said, and she falsely accused this man of rape and sent him away. When you go to prison, that's one of the crimes you don't want to be accused of when you're in prison. Sexual crimes are most egregious crimes that some people believe that can be committed. But he's there, and he's standing strong, and he's teaching other inmates. When you say that I'm interpreting your dreams, I'm also going through your case. They come to Joseph and say, man, I just got this in the mail today, or I had a dream. But nowadays they say, well, I got this from the district attorney's office, and it says this, that, and the other. Can you show me what this means? He read that and say, means that you're in a world of trouble. You're probably not going to make it home, right? In the state of Louisiana, Jeff Landry, our new governor, has decided that there will be no more good time. Good time is like earned behavior, for doing right, for going to school, for improving yourself, but it's no more of that. As a matter of fact, we're in a situation to where we need a Joseph right now. We need to figure out what's coming in the future. What's Project 2025? What's going on with all of the locking down of our rights again, taking these freedoms away? and people just sitting back. I don't know, it's just gonna come. I worked with this church when I first came home from prison in 2016. We changed the Constitution 3 times since I've been home, showing that one individual with enough help from smart people can actually fight back against tyranny and hard struggles and be able to actually get things done. We took away the non-unanimous jury situation here in the state of Louisiana, which this was ground zero, as a matter of fact, the social room, where we first brought this to the attention of the people of the state of Louisiana that we had these issues. Now I'm back in this church again saying that we have a problem. We have a government that's way too conservative. Now, sometimes it's good to be conservative, save your money, put a little something up for the future, and so forth and so on. But what's happening right now, I believe, is going to really harm this state. It's going to push us maybe into something like civil war soon. This is becoming really, really crazy. And only God and only people with God inside of them are going to be able to do anything about it. I know some of those people, and they've suffered. So when you go to prison, you get a chance to find out who you are. When you're in a cell by yourself, and it's dark, and it's cold, and you have no money, and you don't have nobody coming to visit you, you have to look inside yourself and outside yourself to find out what is really the meaning of anything. What does everything mean? So you get to go through what's called long suffering. When you suffer, it does bring something out of your spirit, or it crushes you. The ones that it doesn't crush, we call them the Joseph people. And they're coming home. So I believe no matter what laws that are put on the books, 95% of everybody who's in jail is going to one day come home. You can't just keep them. God won't even allow that. They're going to change governments. Laws are going to change. Something is going to happen, and they're going to come home. But we need to figure out how we want our communities to look as they come home with this scarlet letter to say that, is this the Jim Crow 2.0, where you were in jail, so we're not going to let you, you drinking that water fountain over there. You can't have this job because you were in jail. We don't want you over here. So what do we do to try to correct what's going on and make our community safer? Because if we have a problem of food, clothing, and shelter. When you get out of jail in the state of Louisiana, I was in jail 25 years, 9 months, and 11 days. I came to the front gate, and they gave me $10. Say, all right, bus ticket, go make it. I mean, are you trying to get me to commit a crime? I mean, what is going on? You say, well, you know he's coming back. They call it recidivism. 67% or so of everybody who leaves prison returns to prison within a 3-year period of time. Why? In such a technologically advanced society that we have right now, why don't we think of how to keep them home? I came home July 8th, 2016. Remember that recidivism rate thing? I'm supposed to be back twice because July 8th, 2024 marks 8 years that I've been free. So we learn, and I think I figured it out. I said, I'm gonna start this organization. Get a fact sheet on your way out to really try to find out what it is that we do. There were no transitional houses here in Shreveport, Louisiana. When a person returns home from prison, they do have halfway houses in New Orleans. They do have halfway houses in Alexandria and in Monroe. But Shreveport, the third largest city in this state, has no idea of what they need to do to lower the crime rate. They just out there bad. They mean people anyway. I'll tell you a story before I end this story, before I conclude with what I'm doing. I was watching National Geographic, and they had somewhere in the Namibia in Africa, they were poaching bull elephants for their ivory tusks, right? And mostly white men with a whole lot of money, shooting them all out of helicopters with $3,000 guns, handling their business, taking it. But what started happening was a phenomenon. They over-poached the male bull elephants, and the juvenile bull elephants started doing stuff that they had never done before. They came into the villages, into the cities, started flipping cars over, started going in people's front, through their living rooms, tearing the whole house down because they didn't have the example of the male adult bull elephants. I believe that over the years, over the last few decades, law enforcement has over-poached our adult males in the northern urban areas of this city. And now the juvenile males, or the young ones, have nobody to fear or look up to, because now everybody's scared of them. It's a juvenocracy. So they're in charge, so they get to run around and do what we do, when we really should have their uncles and their fathers and their role models back after long suffering, where they develop themselves a little bit, because you do 10 years in prison, you're going to be something different. I bet you. You're either going to be slap crazy, which means that you also need mental health stuff when you come home, or you're going to be super political like me. Come on, let's change the world. We got to do that, right? Or something. But I know that most of the guys that I met, the ones that told me to tell y'all about them, just like the cupbearer, that I had to come and tell y'all, got some good guys in prison, y'all. Everybody, I mean, prison shouldn't be designed just as a means of punishment. It should be designed as a means of correction. When, like you sent the little ones out, you don't want to just beat your kids to death. You want to correct their behavior through some type of punishment or whatever. But I believe that we're smart enough to know that you don't have to keep people in jail forever. And if you want people to be good, you want them to come home to a situation, to something. So what we have at a Second Chance at Life Foundation are 2 transitional houses right now in Queensboro. One for men, one for women. Separate, they don't mix or anything like that. We'll have a person to run the house. When they come home from prison, we have job training, CDL license training, and job placements. We connect with all Second Chance employers. Most people don't know that you should want to hire a person that's been a slave for a long time. Not only because they're probably good workers, institutionalized, wake up at 5 every morning, it's always on time, getting them where they're going. That's one thing. The other thing is that they come with a $3,500 tax exemption if you hire a felon, and a $25,000 bond from the federal government. So there's no reason not to hire felons, except that thing inside of us, that evil thing that says, I'm better than you. Because that's why we want that. That's why it's always even been racism or anything. We need to be better than somebody. So, look at him, he's been in jail. You're ex-con. I speak 4 languages from being in jail. You know what I mean? There's some benefits from being in jail. Most of my guys are welders, electricians, carpenters, plumbers. They're skilled laborers. You can't just sit in jail. In Angola, you have to go to school. You have to do something because they want you to work for them. They want you to do some stuff. And they hope to keep you forever doing it, but guess what? They're coming home. You want those skilled laborers. Right now, the biggest problem that you have in the city of Shreveport is you don't have a proper labor pool. Don't nobody know how to do nothing. But we point and we say, let him stay. We don't want to hire him. Why not? He's a better worker. So I want you guys to help me at least change the hearts and soul of the people that are around you in conversation. When you're at just by the coffee machine or something and talking about this coffee machine talk that people do, say, man, what you think about who should we hire for this thing? Or should we have a prison ministry? Or what do we do? What did God say? What did Jesus say? If you haven't done this unto the least of them, then you haven't done it unto me, right? And they said, well, when did we, we ain't never not visit you when you was in jail. I mean, it's us. Go for everybody. You wouldn't even have the New Testament if it wasn't for a dude in jail. Or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Think about that. So with all that being said, I want to join you guys. I want you guys to join me in just a little light prayer to that this operation, that this a second chance at Life Foundation grows, that somebody comes in and helps us, that some donations or something come, that because the houses need stuff like, you know, a refrigerator, or, you know, the things that people need in houses. We have those things, but we're working on getting more. So I want to just take a moment of silence and pray on this in however you pray inside of your own soul. Amen. Are there any questions that anybody might have before I leave this morning, or should I? Does anybody have any questions about anything that was said today? Currently, I think there's about 6,900 people in Angola. Yeah. But think about it, it's almost, 3 million people in Manhattan. Angola is bigger than Manhattan. So you got 7,000 people taking up that much land. I don't know. They're all spread out, but there's also a golf course there. There's also what they call the airport, a landing strip. The Supreme Court comes there. I met Justice Scalia, as a matter of fact. Everybody comes there. There's like a no-fly zone over the top of it, and it's a secret meeting place for, I don't know what's going on up there. But there's 200 people that live there, though, that are free. But they pay no rent, no nothing. They have their big homes. They have crawfish ponds there. They have every staple product grown out of the ground that you can think of. There are strawberry patches, pecan orchards. It's like a heaven on earth for an old-time Gentile type of slave master mentality having person. You know, it's like a great place for them. Anybody else? Come on, you just itching to ask something. I see it. Right now we have 3 in the mail house. We are just left the new sheriff meeting yesterday, as a matter of fact, wanting to funnel them in. So right now we don't have the grants, so we're having to pay for it from just what I do, right? But we have 3 in the mail house. 6 people can fit into each house. I'm going to get them from the jails as they come home, but we're serving them in jail 90 days before they come home, doing assessment. Like, I'm not just going to put you in the house. I need to know, are you Jeffrey Dahmer, or, you know, because 5% of the people that are in jail actually probably need to be. You understand what I'm saying? So this is not like a let's let everybody out of jail thing. Let's do this in a smart way where we deal with public safety, but we give people who deserve a chance, right? A second chance. Anybody else? Is that Ernie up there? Hey, how you doing? I haven't seen you in a long time. Ernie Calger. Yeah, that's my guy right there. He believes in me. All right, anybody? Well, thank you for allowing me to come out, share a few of these ideas with you. I know you guys are as progressive as it gets. Please share back with me. Tell me what I need to do to make this thing a success, because I know you guys are smarter than me. I get that. Love you. Peace.
So do pick up the stuff. Yeah, Gail, come on. Do pick up the literature that's on your way out. Hang out a little bit, maybe visit with Curtis. You have a little time to hang out. And it's a second chance at lifefoundation.org. It's A and then the number 2 ND, chanceatlifefoundation.org. And there is a donation site on there, I'm just saying. So, we're going to sing the fire of commitment, because that's what I hope we have. So if you'll rise in body or spirit, it's 10:28 in the teal hymnal if you'd rather have a hymnal in your hands, but look at the screen. That way your head's up and you'll sing loud. Our choir folks are visiting family and picking up kids from summer camp and all kinds of stuff, so we appreciate Gail.
Yep, thank you.
Yeah.
I'm glad to be here.
That was song leading today.
From the light of days remembered burns a beacon bright and clear, guiding hands and hearts and spirits into faith set free from fear. When the fire of commitment sets our mind and soul ablaze, when our hunger and our passion need to call us on our way, when we live with deep assurance of the flame that burns within, then our promise finds fulfillment and our future can begin. From the stories of our living rings a song both brave and free, calling pilgrims still to witness to the life of liberty. When the fire of commitment sets our mind and soul ablaze, when our hunger and our passion need to call us on our way, when we live with deep assurance of the flame that burns within, then our promise finds fulfillment and our future can begin. From the dreams of youthful vision comes a new prophetic voice, which demands a deeper justice built with our courageous choice. When the fire of commitment sets our mind and soul ablaze, when our hunger and our passion need to call us on our way, when we live with deep assurance of the flame that burns within, then our promise finds fulfillment and our future can begin.
Our work here today is at an end, and our work has just begun. The work of holding one another in this community in love, the work of trusting that we are on the right path, the work of believing that what connects us is stronger than what separates us, the work of engaging in that which makes us whole, the work of letting go of that which does not serve us, the work of radical inclusion, the work of collective liberation, the work of this beloved community, a beloved community of which we are all a part, a place where we are welcome, respected, valued, cherished, a place where we belong. Go in peace, actually stay in peace. Amen and blessed be. Oh, and our closing song is Ella's song from Sweet Honey in the Rock as we remember Dr. Bernice Johnson Reagan, who died this week.
We'll believe in freedom cannot rest. We'll believe in freedom cannot rest until it comes. We'll believe in freedom cannot rest. Hear me talking to you. We'll believe in freedom cannot rest until it comes. Until the killing of black men, black mother sons, is as important as the killing of white men, white mother sons. We who believe in freedom cannot rest. Sing it with me if you like it. We who believe in freedom cannot rest until it comes. The older I get, the better I know that the secret of my going on is when the reins are in the hands of the young who dare to run against the storm. 'Cause to me, young people come first. They have the courage where we fail. And if I can but shed some light, I say, carry us through the gales. We who believe in freedom cannot rest. Hear me talking to ya. We who believe in freedom cannot rest until it comes. Then struggling myself don't mean a whole lot. I've come to realize that teaching others to stand up and fight is the only way my struggle survives. I'm a woman who speaks in a voice, and I must be heard. At times I can be quite difficult. How about no man's word? We who believe in freedom cannot rest. Hear me talking to you. We who